Well, hello everyone, this is Mohammad Badruddin and today I am going to solve another machine from Hackthebox. The machine name is Pandora. I'm going to start the machine with the reconnaissance phase where we scan the target and gather the information as much as possible. That's been said, I'm going to start the scanning phase with the nmap tool. So nmap space hyphen s capital V for the version enumeration, space hyphen S capital C for the default scripts, and the target IP is 10.10.11.136, and I wanna save the result in a file which is default.nmap. Because I already ran the scan to save the time, so I am going to show you the results. So cat default.nmap, and as you can see, two ports are open here. The one is 22 and another one is port number 80. 22 is default for SSH, but the application is used for SSH is OpenSSH, and version of OpenSSH is 8.2 p1. Port number 80 by default it's for HTTP, and the server is running Apache HTTPD, and the version of it is 2.4.41. So I already created a record in etc host file, and I want to show you with Pandora in etc host file. So as you can see, I created that record, so I can call it with pandora.hackthebox or htb. So after visiting this site and going to the page source, I did not find anything interesting here on that web application. So what I did is I enumerate more and I go for the UDP scan or UDP port scan. So for that I used nmap space hyphen S capital U space hyphen capital F for 100 top 100 UDP ports, and then hyphen version hyphen intensity is 0, and then the target IP is 136.10.10.11.136, and I save that result on a file named as UDP ports nmap. I already ran that scan too to save the time, so I'm just going to show you the scan result, which is cat UDP ports nmap, and as you can see here, I found one port open, which is 161 UDP port. This is open, and the service running on that port is SNMP, and it's showing the version of SNMP is SNMP version 1, and the community string is public. So I want to brief a bit about SNMP. So SNMP is Simple Network Management Protocol. This protocol basically used for monitoring and management purpose. There are 3 versions available for SNMP, the version 1, 2C and 3. The problem in version 1 was there is no authentication, there is no encryption. So a lot of system compromised with SNMP version 1. Then SNMP version 2 came into the picture with the authentication. So most of the devices in across the world are configured with SNMP version 2C. But the problem in version 2C is there is authentication, but there is no encryption. So even version 2 was not up to the mark. So version 3 came in the picture after version 2C. So in version 3, there is authentication and there is also encryption. Fine. So after getting all these informations, without wasting time, I'm gonna enumerate SNMP service with SNMP walk tool and space hyphen V version. I'm gonna say version 1, and the community is public, and the target IP is 10.10.11.136, and hit enter minus control minus 2. So as you can see here, there are few strings, which is the string 1 is Daniel, Pandora and Mississippi. So Daniel may be the user, Pandora may be the user, Mississippi may also be the user. So SNMP work on MIB and OIDs. I will create a separate video on SNMP very soon. Fine. So let's see what we will find in SNMP enumeration. Till then, I'm going to pause the video to save the time, or to make this video not too much lengthy. Welcome back, guys, and as you can see, while SNMP enumeration, we find the username and password, and we find the password for the Daniel user. So I'm going to just take it with me. Username is Daniel and the password is gonna be Hotel Babylon 23. So copy this and paste it here. Right, let's go and try to SSH Daniel at 10.10.11.136. Hit enter and paste the password Hotel Babylon 23, and we are logged in. So let's see what we have in the Daniel's home directory. Okay, there is no users flag, so clear it. And I want to know how many users are there who can run bin bash. So grep bash and etc/passwd. So there are 3 users, those who can run bash command: root, mate, and Daniel. So we are already in Daniel. We need to find out a way to get into the mate user or directly go to the root. So one more thing, because net state space hyphen tlpn, so we need to enumerate more in the system. So this command is going to tell us how many ports are open. So the important thing here is this port number 3306, which is default for MySQL, and port number 80 is also running on localhost. One more thing, ss space hyphen tlpn, port number 80. Fine. So let's see what's running on it. Curl http://127.0.0.1. Hit enter, and as you can see, there is a URL Pandora_console. So maybe there is virtual hosting on the same web server. One we have already opened up here, and the another one is named as Pandora console, right? So for this, I want to see the web directory, which is default in var www, and tab 2 times or 3 times. You will find that inside www there are 2 directories. One is HTML and one is Pandora. Whatever is in HTML we already see here, but whatever inside the Pandora we didn't see here, right? Because maybe this is only not publicly published. So I'm gonna into Pandora directory, and let's see cd, hit enter, ls space hyphen la. Let's say what's inside the Pandora, and there is Pandora console, right? So if I do curl http://127.0.0.1/Pandora_console and hit enter. So as you can see, this is the page source, right? And here we can see pandorafms.com very well, and not much interesting. And it seems like authentication page, because as you can see there is password field, name field, ID, something like this. So now we need to find out a way so that we can access this application on browser. So as you can see, the title is go to Pandora FMS website. So go up, and Pandora FMS, the flexible monitoring system. So this application is basically used for monitoring, and this is a monitoring application. Okay, so to access this web application, we can do few things. The first thing, we can create the SSH port forwarding or tunneling. So I'm going for port forwarding, SSH space hyphen capital L, 80 on the port on the local host on port number 80, and Daniel, because we have the user credentials, so I'm going in that way. I'm trying this approach. Hit enter. Yes, and again I am going to paste the password, so copy it and paste it here. We can use another terminal to do this. Could not request local forwarding, cannot listen to port 80. Let's see we have it or not. So now we can access this web application by accessing this HTTPS. I don't want HTTPS, I want http://127.0.0.1/ Pandora _ console. Hit enter. Up to now we cannot access. Why? Let's just cancel, and we can use SSH for port forwarding, local port forwarding. I am going to use hyphen capital L and port number 80 :127.0.0.1:80. Hit enter, and the password is gonna be Hotel Babylon 23. Copy and paste it here. Hit enter. And here you can see we did not get any kind of error. So now we can access without HTTPS, and yeah, site is opening. Till then I am going to fire the burp suite. Okay, now let's try to log in this application with the Daniel user. So DANIEL Daniel, and the password is Hotel Babylon 23. Hit enter. Don't save, and error. User only can use the API. This user cannot log in, right? Next, start, close. Okay, so we have application here, but we don't know which version of this. We know it from here, it's showing here. So we know the version of the application, and now we can search from this version. So just copy this and come here, paste that. Pandora FMS exploits and NG security vulnerabilities, and there is a blog, this one, which defines the critical vulnerability, and this is very good resource to understand this vulnerability. So there are multiple vulnerabilities such as SQL injection, FAR deserialization, remote file inclusion, and cross-site request forgery, and these are the CVEs. So I am going to choose the SQL injection vulnerability because it is pre-authentication. We do not need, or you can say unauthenticated SQL injection, because we don't have any user to log in with the Pandora web application, right? So I'm just going to brief a bit that this unauthenticated SQL injection vulnerability is in the include chart generator.php. And where is it? I'm going to show you. Clear cd/var www and Pandora. Inside Pandora there is another directory, Pandora _ console, and inside it there is a directory which name is include. Once you go inside the include and ls space -la, there is one file PHP file named as chart_generator.php, and we can read it or not. Read permission is there, so if you go to read chart_generator.php, so this is the source code of this file. Fine. Although there are snippets are there, so you can see the snippet and you can read it and understand the vulnerability. Here these two lines are very, very important. You can see that this chart_generator, the user input fetched from the request from this, and which is session ID, right? Then it will use the check login function. There is no sanitization. Fine. So check login function will evaluate this as true if a user with the given session ID exists and then access is granted. Now the following snippet is for Pandora FMS users.php. So inside user.php, you can see it uses a function which is db_get_row_filter, and this function is actually using these variables. So it needs a table name which is tsessions_php. This one is also important. Fine. So once you read, it is super simple to understand, and then whatever input it gets, it is going to pass here, fine, as an array. I'm going to show you a bit. Form here, construct here, 127.0.0.1 slash Pandora_console slash, inside the include directory there is a file chart_generator.php, and there is a parameter, and the parameter name is session_id, that is equal to something, whatever, according to this, right? As you can see here, this is the parameter session ID. So let's see, I'm going to copy this, come here and paste that instead of this, hit enter, and access is not granted. Fine. Now let's say the session ID is 123 something, hit enter, and again session is not granted. But for the SQL injection, I'm going to try to generate some error. Okay, so a colon, single colon, and as you can see, the application generates an error. It's using MariaDB server version I don't know, and it is showing the exact query. So it is this is the table name tsessions_php, and the session ID is equal to this, whatever I put it here. So let's see, first of all I need to try to avoid this error and create a structure to run the queries, because it's showing limit is equal to, let's say, a, hit enter, and yeah, now there is no error. Now inside this I can execute the query. So first of all I want to know how many columns are there. So order by let's say 1, hit enter, there is no error, it means number of column is 1, let's say 2, so no error means okay, valid column. Number 3, hit enter, no error means valid column, and number 4 equal, hit enter, and as you can see on ordered by 4 it's throwing an error and it's saying unknown column 4. It means there are only 3 columns, right? Now we know how many number of columns are there. Now we can execute other SQL queries like union select 1, 2, 3 like this, hit enter, and as you can see there is no error. If we go back to the here and go down, so we will see that there is ID, user ID, right? So this is its value, its value is ID underscore this. So I'm gonna take this, come here, and on the third column I'm going to put that. Fine. And just because this is a string, so enclose it with the single quote. Fine. And within this there is deserialization s 4 and then colon, and let's say username is mattmate. So serialize it because mat user have 4 characters, so s4, right? And then semicolon. Fine. Why I am trying to get mat user session ID, because if I come here, okay, up here, so you can see the owner of this whole files and directories of Pandora and Pandora underscore console is mat user. So hopefully mat is the valid user. Fine. And one more thing I want to show you here is inspect and go to the storage, and there is a session ID. This is not the session ID of mat user. From this query we will fetch the session ID for the mat user. So hit enter. Connection, why? I think I lost the session or what? This is closed, that's why we did not. Again hit enter, and we need the password for Daniel user. Copy this and paste it here, hit enter. So after local port forwarding, we can try this, access granted, and storage. This is the session ID. Now once we try, oh come on, I need to again. Oh, okay. So from where I need that value, this is the value. Come here, paste that, and then pipe it to s colon, number of characters in mat user is 4, and matt, this is the thing. Hit enter. Access not granted. Okay, now open another tab and http://127.0.0.1 and Pandora console. Hit enter. That does not work. Why? I need to see. Okay, so that should be here. Fine. So now let's just refresh, not refresh, hit enter here. Fine. And as you can see here, the title is changed. Now come here and just refresh it, and as you can see we are logged in as mat user. Now we are logged in as mat user, but still we don't have the access on the system as mat user. So there is another vulnerability, and that vulnerability is in this event feature, and I'm going to come on it in a minute. So this is going to be the CVE. Follow this and open this core security blog, and here they define multiple vulnerabilities. Remote code execution. There is a vulnerability, remote code execution via the event feature, and that event feature is this. So I am going to enable the burp suite on my browser. Now go to the event feature, view event, fine, and go back to the burp suite. Go to the HTTP history, and let's just close the burp suite. Okay, so this is the post request. Come here, and as you can see, the referrer is Pandora index.php, and sec is equal to event OS, and sec2 is equal to operation. So I need this request. Make sure, because only this request is necessary for the remote code execution exploit, and I am going to delete these all the things up to here, and we need this. Fine, go back to the blog, and you can take all this from here, copy, come back and paste it here. Also this should be here. Yeah, now in the target parameter we can specify the reverse shell one-liner, which I am going to take from the pentest monkey. So come here, pentest monkey reverse shell one-liner, come here, and I'm going to use this one. So copy this, come back to the burp suite and paste that. Also make sure to change the IP address. So my local IP is 10.10.14.34. This is my machine IP, and I want to use the port number 9090 for the reverse shell connection. Now make sure this reverse shell one-liner must be URL encoded. So URL key characters, fine. Now before going to hit enter, I am going to open the new tab, CD, desktop, Hackthebox and Pandora, and here I am going to listen for the connection from the target machine. So nc space hyphen nlvp 9090, hit enter, come here and send. There is a chain of exploits here because there are multiple vulnerabilities. First of all, we exploit the SQL injection vulnerability to log into the application, okay, as MAT user, because what I want actually to log in as a MAT user on the system, and I want a shell as MAT user. But the problem is remote code execution vulnerability can only be exploited with the authenticated user, right? So, and to authenticate this web application as MAT user, we need to first exploit the SQL vulnerability, SQL injection vulnerability, right? So come here, and as you can see, we got the reverse shell connection. Who am I? And I am MAT user. So clear which Python 3. So there is Python 3. Let's see. So Python 3 space hyphen C and import pty:/pty dot spawn slash bin slash bash. Hit enter. Now to execute the clear command, we need to export term is equal to xterm. Hit enter. Now we can run the clear command. Fine. Now we are MAT user. So cd /home/mat ls space hyphen la, and there is user.text, which is the first flag. So cat user.text and hit enter. This is the first flag. Now we need to escalate our privilege one more time to go from met user to root user, because root is the administrative user, it has all the privileges on the system. Fine. So let's see, find space slash space hyphen permission space hyphen u equal to s to see if there is anything on which SUID bit is set. So slash dev slash null, hit enter, and as you can see, this is the thing which is not normal here. Okay, so I'm going to keep it with me, paste it here. So let's see which file. I want to see file command is there. Yeah, file command is there. So clear, and I want to see which kind of file is it. So user bin and Pandora underscore backup, hit enter, and this is ELF 64-bit file. It means this is the executable file. Okay, let's see if strings command is here or not. We can transfer this file to the attacking machine, and then we can execute strings command on this, or before this we can actually cat this. Maybe we find something, paste, and most of the things are gibberish, but if you see closely, you will see that this is Pandora FMS backup utility. Fine. And this is the command it is executing. So whenever you execute this Pandora backup, it is going to call the tar command, okay, on this folder. So all the files within the Pandora console directory, it is going to compress with the tar command, right? So I have an idea, because Pandora backup, on the Pandora backup SUID bit is set and it is calling the tar command. So we can go for the path manipulation. I want a stable connection. I want to see there is SSH or not. There is no SSH, so let's generate SSH hyphen keygen, hit enter, now ls space hyphen la. Now we have .ssh, so cd .ssh and then ls space hyphen la, and there is ID RSA public and private. We can log in with the ID RSA, its private key. So just cat the private key ID underscore RSA, and I am going to copy this, copy, and come back here. Clear, nano ID underscore RSA, hit enter and paste that here, Control X, and chmod 600 ID underscore RSA. Now let's try to log in with met user. So SSH space hyphen I ID underscore RSA, and username is met at 10.10.11.136. Oh, it's asking for the password. Fine, we can do one more thing. So clear, let's say cat ID underscore RSA dot pub. I'm gonna copy this public key inside a new file which is AUTHORIZED authorized underscore keys. Fine. Spelling must be correct. Yeah. Now change mode on this is 700 authorized authorized underscore keys. Fine. Cat authorized paste selection, hit enter. Yeah, now I'm going to copy my key in that file and let's see we can log in or not. Cat /.ssh and id rsa dot public key, hit enter. This is my public key. I'm going to take this, copy, come back here, echo and paste. What's that? It's pasting 2 times. To authorized key. Cat authorized key. Cat paste selection. Let's see. Root at color. Yeah, my key is paste here. Now let's try to log in with the mat user. SSH space hyphen I dot SSH / IDRSA. Yeah, now we logged in as mat user finally. So cd/temp and let's say echo $path. So as you can see, path is not set, so we need to export path is equal to /temp and $path. Now echo path, and as you can see temp is there. Now we need to create a file. Okay, before this what I'm going to do is let's say nano test. Fine. And here I'm going to write this /bin/bash and change mode u+s /bin/bash. Fine. So save it, and now I wanna cat this file test and base64, hit enter. So this is the content. So cat test base64, and I'm going to take this content, copy, come here and create a file. Base64 space -d, decode that and then send it to a file name as tar. So it will create a file named as tar, as you can see here. And if we cat this file, so cat tar, you can see this is inside it. Now change mode, we need to give the execution permission to tar. Everything is set, we just need to execute that. Before this, let's see once. I want to show you this. If I say ls space -la /bin/bash, you can see there is no SUID bit set or anything. But now if we try /user bin Pandora backup, hit enter, and now if I say ls space -la bin bash, and as you can see now this bit is set. So now if I say /bin/bash space -p, hit enter, and now we are root. So id, okay, space -p, this is Matt, who am I, root. Fine. So now let's check this by going inside the root directory, and we are inside the root, and as you can see there is root.txt. so cat root.txt, hit enter, and this is gonna be the root flag. Now another thing is let's try cd dot ssh ls space -la, and there are known host. Let's see how many known hosts are here. known known underscore hosts hosts, hit enter. There is no known host. Fine, but we got the root user. So that's it for this video. If you like the content, please like, subscribe and share. See you in the next video. Bye.